I did a camp in Pittsburgh, actually with a lot of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is kind of ironic, in Beaver Falls at Geneva College. And it was an overnight camp. And I saw the impact that we could have with young men at the age group that we were dealing with, middle school young men, being with them more than just one day or more than just a couple hours a day. And then when we started our foundation, we had several programs. And then I started thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do an overnight camp? And of course, IFE, Impact for Eternity, is something that I always talked about when I talked about the foundation, and that phrase was coined. And of course, when we started the camp, we thought, man, this is a camp that we can pour into these young men for 3 days, 2.5, 3 days, and have an impact forever. And that's been the case. Again, it would have been very easy to bring them in, and we have football coaches, teach them football, teach them how to block, how to throw the ball, how to catch the ball. But to me, there's more to life than just learning a sporting skill. So we put together team building exercises. We have different where you have to work as a team. And I think that's been the great thing about it is sometimes we have some really good athletes, and they're the leaders in an athletic event or during football. But now you put them in, a program where they have to depend on each other. Now you have these young men that might not be the standouts in athletics, are helping put together the team concept, to get through the different activity that they're doing. Of course, then we have character talks. We have these character traits that we have around the camp and that we pretty much have had. Sometimes we'll bring in a speaker to talk about responsibility. We'll talk about integrity. We'll talk about, accountability and things like that, or faith.
For me, camp is absolutely about the character traits, because everything that we do in camp can go straight back to one of the character traits, and not just in the success that they have, but in the struggle they have or the fear that they have. And I mean, there is nothing like the giant swing. Like they'll get on the zip line, they'll get scared, they'll get up there, they'll do the zip line, but the giant swing takes so much of their courage, and the conversations that you hear coaches having, like with kids from my school, coaches that don't even know my kids. To hear those conversations and to let those kids get their fears out and then pull out that character card and say, look right here, all you need is this, right? Let's just have some faith today. Let's believe in something bigger than ourselves. And to see that kid say, all right, if this card says it, it's gonna work. And to see him get up there and do it, it makes me emotional to think about it. I mean, to see those kids that are so scared that they're crying, putting on the harness, and then crying with joy when they get done. That's my favorite part of camp. There's so many things like this, not even just for the kids, but for us coaches. Like, it cleans our soul. Like, it's so good. So.
The one thing that's amazed me is that Anthony Munoz, a Hall of Fame football player, and his wife Dee Dee could live anywhere in the country they wanted, could do anything they wanted. They have everything in life, one would think. But Anthony has been laid on his heart, God laid on his heart the fact that his life is more than just about football. And I had a thought, actually last night, and I thought to myself, what would Cincinnati be like if Anthony and Dee Dee decided not to move to Cincinnati and they didn't get drafted by the Bengals? What would Cincinnati look like? How many people would not be impacted? And part of someone could say, well, someone else would have done it. And I would say, probably not. To impact the people that we get a chance to impact, I mean, Anthony and Dee Dee, they've changed Cincinnati. And when they decide, when they stop having a foundation someday, hopefully it never stops, and someone else is there to carry it on, it's going to continue to grow. But it's going to grow through people that have had this experience. So people that invest in the foundation, it's perpetual. It's never going to stop. So they're going to continue to get returns on their investment for the rest of their lives.
I'll be the first to admit, we can't do what we do without our partners who help fund our programs, and we'll run the programs every year unless we don't have a partner. And we've been really blessed that we've been able to continue IFE because we have an amazing partner, the Harold Schott Foundation, that continues to step up and allows us to do what we do with IFE Camp. And so again, we can put together these great programs, we can put together things that really look good, but if we don't have our corporate partners that step in and financially assist us to be able to bring these kids to camp and say, hey, you don't have to pay a penny. We're going to get you here, We're going to outfit you with some nice swag. We're going to feed you 3 meals a day, and we're just going to pour into your life, and you don't have to worry about paying a penny. And that's what a Hero Shop Foundation does.
When you get to see kids be kids, and you get to see people who care about those kids being the best kid they can be, you know that you're at a camp that matters, and this camp is one of those camps. I get really emotional when I think about it, but I mean, we have newcomers. And in our school and at this camp, a newcomer could be someone who has been here in this country for 2 weeks. But when they come here, that isn't something that they're afraid of or worried about. That's something they get to enjoy and celebrate. And this camp helps everyone celebrate who they are. And that's what I love about it. That's the best part about it. Not a kid leaves here feeling like they were different or wrong for being who they are. And they take that back with them, and they're so much more successful. I mean, the thing that makes Impact Camp different for me and the AMF Foundation is, I mean, it's the Anthony. That's hard to talk about too. There are people that give because they think it's the right thing to do, and there are people who give because they know that a life of service is more important than a life of success. And that's Anthony Munoz. And he knows that ever since I was a little baby, I've been a Cleveland Browns fan, and that my favorite teams every Sunday are the Cleveland Browns and whoever's playing the Bengals. But there is one Cincinnati Bengal that I would follow anywhere, and that's Anthony Munoz. So I'd say the A is the reason that I work at these camps.